Hey up guys, how we doing? I'm the Autistic Biker. So, I just started putting another video together for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. So, now before I do go any further, excuse me, I'm just going to say as well, before I do start this topic, the material of this subject, let's see how many of you can actually either relate to this, or if not relate, at least grasp what I'm actually saying, at least like fully dig it, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So here we go. I'm just going to go straight into it. Oh, by the way, if you do like the material, the content of this video, please feel free to just at least consider hitting that subscribe button. If not, absolutely no problem. I really do appreciate you just at least watching the video. Hopefully, as a great big massive bonus, you will like it. If not love it, take to it. There might just be something about it that you like, etc. So thank you for the viewership. I really do appreciate that. So yeah, so subject to this is I was thinking to myself. I actually thought, oh god, I don't know when it were, but um, it could have been a couple of months for all I know, to uh, about a year ago or something like that. I don't know. To be honest, them just seem to be all robotic things. I just seem to like generically say, isn't it? A couple of months ago to a year ago. But now this is one thing that I can think of. At least one thing that I can think of off the top of my head, that I do actually regret looking back now and reflecting back on it, to do with the buying of my motorcycle, as in what's classed as what people know as your big bike. So if there's one regret that I have, is going from your 125, so within your CBT, having a 125 within your CBT, right? And then if you want to go any further than that, which is your big bike test, whether if it's just your A1 or A2 or your unrestricted full Monty, as I like to call it, your full category A. Do you know what I mean? So where am I? Yeah, it's alright, I'm just trying to get my words out, that's all. So if there's one thing that I do regret looking back on it now, right, I wish I would have actually done differently. That's what I'm saying to you, right? In terms of buying, like I said, what's known as your first big bike, after coming out your CBT, and and after passing my unrestricted full Monty full category A motorcycle license, because that's me, that's what I've got, is it's going straight from a 125, which my very first learner bike 125 was a Yamaha YBR 125. Is it's going straight from a 125 to, as what I've got now, a Yamaha Phaser 600. Don't matter what make or model, but I should have just said basically 600cc capacity engine. And it's not exactly easing in or easing up slowly. Like, for example, right, if there's one thing that I wish I would have done differently from going from a Yamaha YBR 125 within my CBT to then, after passing my full, my full category A unrestricted full Monte big bike license, is it's going straight from a 125 to a 600cc capacity engine motorcycle. So, for example, if there's one thing that I wish I would have done differently, to give you an actual sort of like realistic, real life, practical, physical example, is I wish I would have, now reflecting back on it, for example, got like gone from a 125 to like a, for example, just like say a 250, a 250cc bike, and then when you've got used to your 250 to your 250 bike, after it's been about, I would say, a year or two, from at least a good year, I'd say, to maybe a year and a half, 18 months, to maybe 2 years. So we'll say roughly between a year to two. And then after your 250, go into, like, let's say for another realistic example, go into like between a 300 to a 400cc bike. And then fair enough, after your 3 to 400cc bike, then yeah, fair enough, absolutely. Going on to a 600 bike, a 600cc, which is what I've got now. Now, it's very important for me, and it's also very exciting for me as well though. It's not for me just to tell you, sort of just like the black and white, like, you know, pinnacle the pinnacle subject, just a chit chat of this video. But it's very exciting as well though for me to actually tell you all the reason behind why I do actually regret going from a 125 to a 600, and also why I would have done that differently. Like I've said, like for example, going from a 125 to a 250, have it for about a year or two, go to a 3 to 400cc, have that for another 1 to 2, maybe 1.5 years, then going on to your 600 bike, etc. So, and let's see if any of you can actually get this, can actually relate, or like I said, if not relate, just at least totally sort of like appreciate what I'm saying, really understand and appreciate with like gratitude and value of life itself. Now the reason why I do regret being, as I like to put it, an eager beaver, right? An eager beaver being going from a 125 to, as soon as I've passed my full category A big bike license, oh that's it now, I've got to have, I've got to have a 600cc. It's got to be a 600cc. It's got to be. No, it does not have to be. Just because you've gone and had to buy low, take your mod 2 test for your full category A big bike motorcycle license, you're unrestricted, just because it's got to be up to a certain capacity engine and horsepower and torque and everything else, which it was obviously what I learned, learnt on and passed on, doesn't mean that you have to then go out and get at least a minimum of that same CC capacity, engine, power, torque, horsepower and everything that you've learnt on, right? But that's what I think, I can't be certain, but unless it's something subconsciously on my mind, but with another reason, but I'm saying, just thinking consciously, I think that would be the reason why I just wanted to be an eager beaver, and just by going straight to a 600 from a 125, and that's it, just because it's what I learnt on a 600. Do you know what I mean? It's what that's done for me, reflecting back and looking back on it now, is going from just a 125 to actually buying my Yamaha Phaser 600. What that's done is it's ruined and spoiled the years in process, if that makes sense, because I've got used so much to the actual power of my 600 bike now, of my Yamaha Phaser. That's why, to me, it's ruined it and it's spoilt it, the years in process. So therefore, I wish I wouldn't have been this eager beaver, like this giddy black Labrador puppy, weird tongue art, energetic, can't wait, foolish and naive decisions, I would say, in my opinion, but I'm only speaking for me. you know. So that's basically it. I've only got a couple of few more minutes, I would say, to wrap up this video, but that's it. I mean, just got a couple more things to say. Yeah, I mean, it's because I've got used to the power so much of it. That's what it is. So in other words, what I'm saying is I didn't pace myself, and because I didn't pace myself as a consequence to myself, because I didn't pace myself, that's ruined and took away, sort of like, by dulling and dimming the excitement inside of my belly, inside of my stomach. Do you know what I mean? It's dulled and dimmed, and it's put like a rain cloud, so to speak, over my decision that I did make. And that is my consequence as a result of that, because it has took away that, like I said, that anticipating excitement, that anticipation that we all do feel when we look forward to something inside our stomachs, inside our bellies. So, and if I, for example, reflecting back on it now, if I would have just gone from a 125 to, for example, let's say like a 250, I would still be feeling now that anticipation and that excitement in my stomach. I would still be feeling that right now in my belly, because here's why: because I would then have something to look forward to by taking it slow and easy, by easing into my next other additional big bike. That's the beauty. So now let's say, for example, if I just had a 250 now, right, now is just about the time, or even if I had like a 3 to 400cc bike right now is, let's say for example I had a 3 to 350, but I still didn't want quite a 600 yet. I wanted like a 500cc. So maybe look at like a Royal Enfield, like Interceptor or Bullet or Continental GT or something like that. You know, like either a Triumph of that model or a Royal Enfield. I would have that anticipation and excitement in my stomach now, because what I would be feeling and thinking is, I'm going to get rid of this 300 or 350cc bike that I've currently got now, and I actually can't wait to get my 500cc bike. So then I would always have something to actually aspire to actually strive towards, by keeping that excitement inside myself. And you see, that's the beauty of life, to do with life decisions, to do with any like products, items, assets, belongings, anything you want to sort of like upgrade as a sort of like something to strive towards, to look forward to. If you go straight for the most biggest, well, not for the most biggest, but if you go for a heck of a lot more of a much more bigger, better, like, motorcycle than what you could go for, there you go. That's the excitement dulled and dimmed and sort of like taken away from you know. So that's basically it. So I'd love to hear what you all have to say in this comment section of this video. If you want to comment, you don't have to, but I'd love to hear your take on it, and your view and your opinion. Let's see what your views and opinions are, and what you reckon to the whole of everything or anything in this video, the content that I've mentioned. So, and this is the thing, you see, you always have that bit more power as in the torque and the horsepower, to always like stride and lean towards picking up your next new motorcycle, whatever it's going to be. But the key and the trick is, if you can, is not to go, like I said, for a heck of a much more bigger, powerful bike in cc, engine capacity size, in the horsepower and in the torque, right? And also in the weight distribution as well, when you're even playing with dead weight and stuff like that and leaning and going around corners. But I would always, you see, the trick and the advice is, if I could give it 21, is, yeah, definitely, certainly upgrade by all means, but if you can, try and find that perfect balance in upgrading, yes, but the perfect balance being upgrading by only just by that bit, but still by that bit where you're going to notice that recognisable difference in the throttle response, right, in the horsepower and in the torque, and also from that bit more higher of that cc capacity engine, because then you'll always have your mind always on the bit more powerful bike after that, and the bit more powerful bike after that, and the bit more and so on. That's the beauty, like I said. So it's now going on and on and on. It's now going, God, it's gone over like 15 minutes, this video. It's 16, it'll be soon be 17, if not 18 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up there. But yeah, I'd love to just have a chat with you all, make friends, get on, etc. Let's see what you've got to say to that. So that is my one regret to do with motorcycling in the by being in the motorcycle game, in the motorcycle world, by being part of us, as they say, if people want to class me as in being part of that motorcycle community. But yeah, that's my only regret up to now so far, and that's but in a way it's sort of like a good regret, if that makes sense. It's a sort of like positive negative because you've just got to feel it inside you to then want to do something about it. But yeah, just put here as well on here basically, yeah, if that's the advice as well that I could give to anyone, if I could give any advice honestly to like anyone at all who is listening into this video, that for example, let's say right now, whenever right now is, whether if this video, whether if you are going to be listening to it, right, to this video from even a day in, month in, a year in, 2 year in, anything, this video is going to be here to stay, I'd like to think. So let's say for example, if right now I am talking into the ears of let's say a very young man, right, or a young girl, male or female, if you are listening into this, and if you have just passed your big bike license, whether if it is your A2 or even your full category A unrestricted full Monte big bike license, by the way, congratulations, well done, fun times ahead, onwards and upwards, ride safe. So now going back on track, if you are listening to this, if I can just give you any advice, is please take it from me, is not to be that eager beaver by thinking you have now, just because you've got your full, big bike license, and you've got no more hard work to do now to prove yourself to an examiner or instructors or whatever. My advice would be is just look at a 250 and keep it for about a year, if not a year and a half, if not to 2 years, and then trade it in and always have something to look forward to, because then, right, you'll always have that 300 to 400cc bike to look forward to from your 250, and then that 600 or 500 or 600 bike, 400 or 600cc bike to look forward to from when you've had your 3 to 400cc bike. So, but obviously that's only my advice, that's only what I advise and recommend, but you know, you really don't have to take it. You will follow your own heart, head, and do whatever the hell you like. But that's just what I would say, because if you do it that way, by pacing yourself, you're keeping that you've always got this live, sort of like a live raw nerve of excited anticipation inside your stomach that's always jingling and dancing inside your stomach. But like I said, not nerves, pure excitement. So you'll always have that bit more bigger bike to look forward to. Do you know what I mean? So that's it. So that's what my advice would be to you if you are listening, because that is what I genuinely do regret. It's sort of like a good regret though, in a way, if that makes sense, like I've said, but yeah, that's me. So that's it. So please feel free to subscribe only if you want to this channel, or just hit that like if you do like this video, or like I said, comment, mention anything you want. Let's see what your views and opinions are. Ask me anything, say anything you want. So let's see what you reckon. So as for now, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm the Autistic Biker. Peace out, take care. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I appreciate that. The Autistic Biker, bye bye.